Hello guys, Galatasaray lost 1-0 against Monaco in the Champions League. After a great first half, our team was totally finished in the second half. I think we controlled the game as much as you can in the Champions League away. Unfortunately, this team was too tired mentally, physically, and so on for the second half. In the first half, I think we created some big chances with İlkay Gündoğan, which was very crucial to score from, of course. And yeah, it's just a sad result because I think that we are a better team than Monaco actually, but this team is just, yeah, it's just sad to see that we are today in the beginning of the match. The first half we are playing great, but the team is running for one man, and that's İlkay Gündoğan. He's not ready whatsoever with the ball. Without the ball, İlkay Gündoğan struggles a lot. He uses too long time with the ball, doesn't do the right choices. Without the ball, he can dribble past too easy, struggles a lot in the pressure as well. So, and Monaco's physical midfield just ran over us time after time. The only thing Monaco could create on us in first half was either counter on our right side with Salah, because I think Salah played a great game, but his positioning is not the best because he's a winger. So he's giving a lot of space when he's running up. They try to attack from there or in the half space, the room between our midfielders and our defenders, because players like Golovin, Minamino are players that loves to go in the final third there and get the ball in their feet. So of course they will get the ball there, but they didn't create much. In second half, the team Galatasaray was so tired. We lost the ball time after time. They got to counter time after time. Not only counter, we couldn't win the ball either. We were just so finished in the second half, and I'm so disappointed with some players. I must mention, for example, Barış Alper. He started the game good, had 2-3 sprints against Wanderson, Monaco's right back, who is clearly attacking fullback and struggling to defend. Barış Alper, after 2-3 runs in the first 25 minutes, he was totally finished. We saw it against Samsunspor as well, that Osimhen always needed to cover up for him in the second half. I get that they're tired, and because of our squad depth and the match program we have right now, the fixture, it is so many matches. But man, to have a player who can't even, it is a difference between jogging back and walking back. And with the ball, when you're so tired, you will lose the ball. I'm really wondering how many times Sané and Barış lost the ball in the second half, because that was so much. And when you're losing the ball, when you can create chances, when you can attack, they will just run over you, counter over you. Torreira is tired as well. And I'm really making a big question mark about our squad planning. I know that people say, yeah, but we got so many injuries. But you know what? If Berkan Kutlu, if Ahmet Kutucu, if Yusuf Demir cannot come in to a game like this if they are not in better shape than Barış Alper, İlkay Gündoğan, then, and a tired player like Sané in the second half, and so on. It's just incredible that they are planning it that way. Then they are not good enough. Ahmet Kutucu, not good enough. We saw it last season. Berkan Kutlu, we saw it in the preseason. Yusuf Demir, how many years are you going to try to fit him into the team when it's clearly that Okan Hoca doesn't trust him either? These kind of players, Kaan Ayhan, Metehan Baltacı, who is charged now, I'm isolating that. But to have those kind of players in the rotation, when you even can put them in against Fatih Karagümrük in the league, no offense to Karagümrük, but you get my point. Then how are you creating this Champions League squad? So I'm just so disappointed because again, I think we showed in the first half when we were fit, when we didn't almost die, on the pitch. We were clearly a better team than Monaco. Gabriel Sara, I think, played his best match in the Champions League. He should have scored some goals. In the first half, I think Davinson Sanchez played great. He was very good on the ball as well. And as I mentioned, Gabriel Sara, Jakobs played great. He, of course, needs to get subbed out. And there also, when he's getting subbed out and Barış Alper is playing left back, it is a highway on the left side, to be honest, because Barış Alper doesn't react when he gets the ball, when he tries to pass it in. His crosses are lobbing because he doesn't have any power left. Is it him to blame? Maybe not, because our depth and everything are just so weak. So yeah, I'm just extremely disappointed. And Monaco, they screamed for a goal. They got a penalty. Uğurcan Çakır saved it. Of course, he need to get changed out. That will do something with the confidence in your team when even your goalkeeper need to get subbed out. He saved the penalty 5 seconds after Günay came in, because Uğurcan Çakır got injured. They scored on a corner. It's some kind of rules in football. You should not sub a player out when you are defending a set piece, a corner, and so on. But Uğurcan Çakır needed to go out because he was injured and he's a goalkeeper. But again, how strong we were on set pieces last season and how weak we are this season, both offensively and defensively. We know that I think it's like over 30% of the goals in a football game comes from set pieces. So to be strong there is so important. But again, Monaco could have scored 3-4 goals before that even, so because we were totally finished in the second half. And again, it's the same thing time after time in the Europe, where we don't have players enough. You have players who should not play, who are playing, and you have so many injuries. It feels like deja vu all the time. This team in Europe, it is something that the management, that the coaches doing wrong, but they don't learn. Hey Melly, what do you think about the game? It is so sad, man, because I really think that In the first half, we played great. In the second half, the team were totally finished, and I'm just so sad for the. Yeah, it's not much to do in the. It's going to be very, very difficult in the Champions League now, and we can only blame ourselves because when you're losing against Union at home, where we at least could have gone for a draw, here a draw would have been perfect because Monaco was 3 points behind you. To get 1 point will mean that they are still 3 points behind you, and yeah. Do you think the first half was bad too, or? I think the first half was decent. But second half, man, it just from the first second in the second half, I knew that Monaco was going to score for sure because we couldn't get out. We couldn't get out of Monaco's pressure. In the first half, we could, keep the ball at least and play out Monaco's pressure. But in the second half, man, when we played long even, the long balls, and Barish Alper got the ball, he tried to pass the ball, lost possession. Leroy Sané 1 versus 1 in the second half, lost it all the time. And then players like Gabriel Saragot, he was nowhere to be seen in the second half. Yeah. And I think Ilkay played a very bad game, man. He is not ready whatsoever. And that's what I'm meaning about plan squadding, man. If Berkan Kutlu, I'm not talking about İlkay Gündoğan and Berkan Kutlu, who is the better footballer. But if Berkan Kutlu can't even get a minute with the state of what İlkay Gündoğan is right now, it's for me incredible. Because İlkay Gündoğan, he can barely stand on his feet. His choices with the ball is so bad as well because he gets tired when he gets the ball. The one time he tried to play it to Leroy Sané, I think he could have played Osimhen through also if he had played earlier. It was one time Salah went on a run on the right side and he couldn't see him, so he slowed down the game where we could have attacked in the first half. So these kind of things, it's not only without the ball İlkay Gündoğan is ruining us. It's also with the ball. Hello Chibi Ueke, what do you think about the game? Sara. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, Melly, about the... Yes, it is maybe Gabriel Sara's fault, but it's the team's fault. What happened from the last season when we were so good on the set pieces? Both offensively and defensively. This season, we have been horrible on set pieces, both ways. And that has something to do with the tactics, like you're saying. Why is Gabriel Sara there? He is not good in the air. He is one of the weakest players in the air in this team. Why is he on the back post and marking a player there? Set pieces changed the game. I knew that if we were considering the first goal, you probably knew it too, that we were going to lose this game because the team had the only thing that made them stand on their feet was that it was 0-0. Other than that, the team couldn't move, the team couldn't pass, the team was so gassed out. Everyone. Lucas Torreira as well. Before the penalty, when he tries to pass it to Gabriel Sara. This is not the Lucas Torreira we know, you know. Because they need to play 90 minutes every game because of the planning of this squad. It is so clear how bad and weak this planning was, man, from the management. It's so clear now. Because we talked about this before the season, that Berkan Kutlu and Kaan Ayhan, unfortunately, are not good enough for Galatasaray anymore. If we need to be really, really harsh. I know that Kaan Ayhan is a national team player. I know that he has done so much great for us. But his state last season, especially his physicality, was so off. And when you saw that he did harm for us when he even played as a midfielder. You know, before Kaan Ayhan, when he played right back, you were like, he's too slow. But when he's too slow for a central midfielder, then it is some very, very big red flags. I also remember Berkan Kutlu in the preseason when he did a mistake and the fans booed or something. It was at our home ground. Was it against Lazio or Strasbourg? I don't remember. And his face just went so down. He was like, he couldn't even run on the field anymore because he was so devastated. And when you are that, when the conditions are like that mentally for you, before the season starts, then how can you use them in the season? You know, as we has said earlier, you know, Ahmet Kutucu, Yusuf Demir, Metehan Baltacı, Berkan Kutlu, Kaan Ayhan, they are not good enough to even be on the rotation. Therefore, this squad is not deep enough for Champions League. It is as easy as that. That's the harsh truth. And on the rest of the places, you have like Salah, who needs to be rotation player on the right back, on the right winger, on the left winger. You have Arda Ünyay. He's a big talent, but he's not good enough. So right now, but the crazy thing as well, I think like half of our bench who are under 17 players played earlier today, 90 minutes. I think Çağrı Balta, for example, played 90 minutes in the under 19 versus Monaco in the junior Champions League game. So it's like they are on the bench, but can you use them when they have played 90 minutes? It is just, you know, it's just to fill the bench. If one player should lose his leg or break his ankle or whatever, they are not on the bench. Like, they are there physically, but it is not like you are going to use them anyway when they already have played earlier today. So yeah, I just want to congratulate. I don't want to say unlucky either. Yes, we had some injuries, but everybody knows that Jakobs are injury prone. Okay, Eren Elmalı was suspended. No one could see that, but Jakobs are injury prone. Singo, unfortunately, are injury prone. Mario Lemina, we have seen him. We have known him for 6 years, and we know that he is injury prone. Osimhen is injury prone if you look at all the seasons he has played. Mauro Icardi just came back from a big injury. Yunus Akgün is also injury prone, he's also struggling with injuries. İlkay Gündoğan is old. It is just so many things in this squad that is hard to explain, because even Davinson Sanchez is injury prone. He is. He plays a lot now, but if you look at before, when I'm talking about injury prone, what I mean is that they can be injured. Muscle injury, everybody can get injured, but their risk is a bit higher than normal players, I think. So, and it is not a result from today that, this game was so difficult in the first half that our team was totally finished in the second half. No, they have played 90 minutes, week in, week out, 3 times a week, these players, 2 times a week, 90 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes, changing positions. Sanchez played right back for 90 minutes, and so on. And that's the result of today, that they were totally finished. And when you're thinking about it, if we should have any chance to win today, that should have come from a goal from the first half, and just then defend and counter in the second half, because this team's energy was totally finished in the second half. And what really, really annoys me, to be honest, is Barış Alper again. I said it earlier in this video. But man, he can't even move, he can't even jog. He's walking back. Against Samsunspor, Osimhen needed to cover up for him on the left side time after time in the second half. Today, with the ball as well, Barış Alper, when he got the ball, he was very good in the first 20 minutes. What really, really annoys me is that if Barış Alper had been anywhere fit today, he would have punished Wanderson, Monaco's right back, so many times, not only in the first 20 minutes, but in 90 minutes, he would have destroyed him totally with Ismail Jakobs. Unfortunately, after 2 sprints, he wasn't on the pitch anymore, or he was on the pitch. But his passes, I'm really wondering how many times Barış Alper and Leroy Sané lost possession in the second half, man. When we could attack, they interrupted the passes because they didn't have any power or any oxygen in their brain to do the smart choices and so on. So there you go. Then you lose. You are going to be punished in the Champions League if you can't run for 90 minutes. If you only can run for 45 minutes. Then they're going to lose. Look at Monaco before their first goal and after. Just in overall, in the second half, Monaco could have scored maybe 4, 5, 6 times. Because when you can't run back, the crazy thing is that Monaco overloaded on our defenders when they were attacking. It was like Davinson Sanchez and Abdulkarim always had 1 man extra to mark. And that's crazy, especially when Monaco was driving the ball and attacking on us. That is crazy. And it's impossible then to win in the Champions League, or get any points. No, we struggle to pass to Osimhen. We struggle to find him. It really, really annoys me because, again, in the first half, we were able to create something. Barış Alper had 1 in the post as well. Just look there how he just destroyed Wanderson, their right back. He couldn't follow him physically. But you know, but that was 20 minutes. It doesn't help when you can't run after that. It doesn't help to be good in 20 minutes. That's what I'm saying. It is not acceptable either. If your manager are comparing you to players like Icardi, Leroy Sané, Osimhen, because you are scoring against Gaziantep in the Super League in the first round and doing a great preseason against Lazio and so on, and Strasbourg, and demanding 6 million euros. Yeah, I shouldn't talk too much about that, but it is just sad. Lucas Torreira said, "We are very angry and very uncomfortable with this situation. This competition is played at a very high level. Mistakes can be punished. As a team, we are working and preparing very well." I see that many are commenting that yeah, many are very, very angry right now on Okan Hoxha, on the team in general. So yeah, and that's again I'm sad about that because in the again I think the first half to be away game in the Champions League was okay. It was good actually in my eyes. I think it was even better than the Ajax game away, because we created some really, really big chances and we didn't give much away to Monaco. But as we saw in the second half, yeah, and also the fans were, it was a really weird atmosphere at the stadium. It's a very weird stadium in general, this Monaco stadium. But I think Galatasaray fans, it was like playing at home at a bit different field. The fans were amazing in my eyes to be away fans. Yeah, preparation is the biggest problem. Yeah, it has been that. It has been that. What do you think? But what do you think? How should they prepare better? Like, what do you think they did wrong? I think the preparation. I think that started in the beginning of the season, before the season, when we were preparing for example, the Champions League squad, the registration, and we never fill up the Champions League quote. That's what's annoying me so much, or the European squad. Maybe we can't fill it up with 25 players because we don't have 4 home ground players. But how we are not able to, have 23, 24 players who are good enough to play, that's what's annoying me so much. Yeah, Galatasaray won the Super Cup there, if I'm not totally wrong, against Real Madrid in 2000. So it is a familiar stadium for Okan Hoxha and Galatasaray in general. So it was like playing at home, and I can't stress it enough how amazing the fans was. It felt like on the whole stadium it was only Galatasaray fans. Therefore, it's just even more sad against the decent Monaco team. I'm not saying that we are the best in the world, but I don't think Monaco are that great either. That's what's disappointing me so much. And Yeah. Let me see if anyone has talked anything. And how this... it annoys me so much. Did you hear the statement from... Yeah, I don't think Gabriel Sara played that bad. That's my opinion. I think İlkay Gündoğan was very bad. Gabriel Sara is a weird player. I know that he's, sometimes he looks like the best player, not best player in the world, but his physicality is just so off, man. I get that, but I think Gabriel Sara at least played okay. But İlkay Gündoğan, as long as he is at this physical form, he is not good enough whatsoever. Against Samsunspor in the league, he was okay for 30-40 minutes as a deep playmaker, but he didn't move. He just got the ball from the defenders, moved the ball side to side, had some great passes, but he didn't move anything because he can't move. And a player like İlkay Gündoğan, you really expect him to score on those chances. That chance. Even Barış Alper should have scored on his chance. Yeah, but we need a midfielder. We need a midfielder. For sure. But do you want that Mikao Tatse style or what? I think we need I think we need both. I think we need a... Man, I don't know. What do you think about... I think we need a player in Lemina, a player who is similar to Lemina, because you are seeing how much we are missing him today. But we also need an attacking player who can play in all the positions. And what I know that people are talking about Mohamed Salah right now. He's an amazing player, I know that, but Umar Marmoush, what do you think about him? I know that's probably unrealistic, but he has not played almost anything for Manchester City. He is a profile who would fit perfectly in our squad. Perfectly. He is good without the ball, his runs are amazing, he's good in the pressure, but how realistic it is, I don't know. And he can play as a winger, as a striker, as an attacking midfielder. He would have been an extremely good partner with Osimhen, Umar Marmoush, I think. But if Manchester City are willing to sell him, what can I say? Like, yeah. Yeah, we are really missing that. You know that Mertens type, of course, a younger player like Endrick, you are saying, Marmoush, they can play all wingers. Even Mikao Tatse can play winger, attacking midfielder, striker. Because then you can sometimes bench players like Leroy Sané, Barış Alper, Yunus Akgün, and so on. Right now we have only one profile who can dribble, who is quick on the tight spaces, I think, and that's Yunus Akgün. Of course, Leroy Sané is good to dribble and things like that, but to get the ball in the final third there and create something, he did that against Samsunspor, but I don't think he's that type either, Leroy Sané, and we are really missing that. So I think like Carlo Holzer, I remember him from Rosenborg. He's a good player. He's like He moves a lot. He is good with the ball, good on the tight spaces, works a lot. Not sure if he's good enough for Galatasaray. What do you think, Carlo Holse? It is a, why not do those kind of transfers either, if they fit perfectly in your system. He has done very well in the Super League. And he's only 26 years old, so you never know. And but I think the team needs a center back, a midfielder like Lemina, a younger but maybe a better or at the same level, or that same kind of type, and that offensive player you are talking about. And people will maybe say, yeah, but we don't have a right back either. Yes, we have Singo, and then Salai can be that backup alone. Because if you have an extra offensive player up front, Salai doesn't need to play everywhere. Then he can focus mainly as a right back. And if Singo is fit, he can also be a substitute on the winger if it is needed. But I don't see the point to buy a new right back right now, and we already have a right back we bought for 30 million euros. Unfortunately, we have not seen him anything almost. So, but Endrik also is a very, very big talent. We need to remember that he's very, very young. I love the profiles you are talking about, like Endrik, Marmoush, Holse, Mikau Tatse, these kind of players who are good in the... That's another thing about Galatasaray right now. We don't have the players Okan Hoca likes in his style of playing. What I mean by that, the profiles Okan Hoca, the style of play Okan Hoca does is high press, intensity. Right now you can't do that with İlkay Gündoğan, Gabriel Sara, even Leroy Sané struggles there. And right now even Barış Alper is struggling there. It can work if you have one or two players who are not the best in the high pressure, For example, we have survived a lot with... I think Abdülkerim has done great this season, but I'm talking like in general. He's not the best center back in an offensive marking style because he's not the fastest. But you can survive when the whole team in general is so good in the pressure. But when almost half of the team are not good in the high pressure, how should they fit the style of Okan Hoca's pressing, for example? Barış Alper said, we came here for a win, we couldn't get the result we wanted and we're upset. Everything is in our hands. In the next match, we'll get the win and make our fans happy. Galatasaray deserves to be in the best place. We will learn from our mistakes in this match. I'm just saying that Atletico Madrid, it is at home, but they are extreme team, to be honest. So and Barış Alper, yeah, I should keep my mouth shut because I don't want to say that one player is this or that, but yeah, I'm really, really angry right now at him. Yeah, because the thing is, if the profile is correct, he can come from the Uganda league, So I totally agree with you. If the scouts and everything are like, this is the profile who fits perfectly in our squad, so why not? Why not should he not come from Samsunspor? But, they would be really expensive as well. I don't think that they would have sold him for peanuts, there's Samsunspor or any other Super League teams. Okan Hoca said, we had chances and there were ones we couldn't finish. We played very comfortably. We did a very good job building the play from the back. We created clear goal opportunities. It could have been a much more comfortable match in the first half. He also said Monaco is a team that's poor at the back but good up front. They're a team that can't defend well, but offensively they have incredible finishing. Maybe they also failed to finish many chances, but they created a lot of chances. Unfortunately, we could not make it. We are going through a tough period. We are in a phase where we are missing very important players for us in terms of squad depth. We will continue on our path. We have 9 points. We have 2 matches left. We will do our best to reach our goals. Of course, we are disappointed. We played in a way worthy of our fans in the first half, but the second half wasn't the way we wanted. Urcan, who need to get out, get subbed out. Okan Hoca said Urcan has some strain in his upper muscle. It will be clear after MRE tomorrow. During this period, the only player who hadn't been injured for us was the goalkeeper. Yeah, and what really annoys me as well is that the team were like, we are going for top, we want to get in the top 8 now after we beat Liverpool and the life, especially after the Ajax game, that they were like aiming so high and just chill down. It was the same in the Europe League last season. We started so well, everything went so well. Then we got a draw against Dynamo Kiev, who is in a war situation at home. I think they got their first points against us. Riga, we got a draw. AZ Alkmaar and so on. These games, it is something that is missing tactically as well. You can't just say like, and the planning. We did give Samsung Emre Kılınç, Eyüp Aydın and their goalkeeper, yeah, so maybe a little discount. Yeah, it would have been great, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. So because they're not liking us, any clubs in the league. We are everyone's enemies, unfortunately, in this country. So yeah, it's so disappointing. You can win against Liverpool, but if you're losing against Monaco and Union, you're still getting 3 points where you could have gotten 4, 5 points, So no, it's yeah, and again, I'm so disappointed with İlkay Gündoğan not being able to score on that chance. So this game was just so disappointing. Now we have Atletico Madrid left and Manchester City away, Atletico Madrid at home and Manchester City away with the same players, the same squad. You can't do anything else you can't change it on the registration. I'm not even sure who is available because of the AFCON. If that is going to impact, any players, I don't think Singo was included in the AFCON squad, so he's probably out for some couple of more weeks. But Jakobs, Osimhen and Lemina are going to the AFCON. So how many games they are going to miss, I don't know. And we are facing Antalyaspor away in 4 days, if I'm not totally wrong. And people will say that will be easy, but I don't think so, to be honest. Yeah, on Saturday we are facing Antalyaspor away. After a away game in the Champions League, it's always difficult, the game after, and it is away again against Antalyaspor. Antalyaspor are not in great state either, but they will know that we are very fragile right now. So it's going to be very difficult. The rest of the games, 1 point today would have been so much better than 0 points. It tells itself, of course. But yeah, that's the situation right now. We were not anywhere near good enough in the second half. So, and if Balogun had been a decent finisher, he could have scored 4 or 5 goals today in the second half. So before I want to wrap up, I just need to, Turkish football, the Turkish football president, Football Federation president İbrahim Hacıosmanoğlu said he had a press conference today where he said, the timing of everything is crucial, and this is typically for Galatasaray when we are playing in the Europe. These kind of statements are coming from the Turkish Football Federation all the time. But this man, Haciosmanoglu, is just on another level. I think he really dislikes Galatasaray, especially when we heard about the last season, his statements against Sayın Dursun Özbek, against our club and so on, that he did not resign after that. That I don't know how our boards and management should get rid of him as a president for the Turkish Football Federation. But this man is not worthy whatsoever. He said, and this is today before the game, just imagine a football federation president are coming out with this kind of statements right before a Champions League game. They are so saying that it is so important that our teams who are competing in Europe, that they need to be concentrated, that we need to support them and blah blah blah, and you're coming out with these statements today is for me nothing else than bad intentions. And what he's saying as well, Haciosmanoglu said, Galatasaray came here, they had complaints because a yellow card wasn't given in one position. But in my opinion, Fenerbahce is the one that should have complained there. The referee stopped the game when Fenerbahce went on the attack with 8 people. It was the situation where Skriniar when he stamped or tackled Gabriel Sara. It is between a yellow and a red card in that situation. I think it is a red card. But to come out with this kind of statements, it's like the last season when he said, like, when Galatasaray complained on the referee against Eyüpspor, he was like, I think it was Eyüpspor who got used by the referee. Galatasaray has nothing to complain about. Why is it only Galatasaray he's talking about when we are criticizing the referee or whatsoever? Why is it always Galatasaray? If Fenerbahce, if Besiktas, if Trabzonspor are complaining about referee, I don't think I said anything about those clubs. But when it is Galatasaray, straight away he comes out in a press conference and saying these things. And then he's mentioning Galatasaray versus Trabzonspor, where Zubkov, he's saying that Zubkov was tackled the same way as Gabriel Sara. And there was nothing there either. It's just so crazy how deep he is in this and how much he really dislikes our club. He really dislikes our club. And to come out with these kind of statements right before a European game. The timing couldn't be worse. And if the board, Aslan, is not doing anything, I don't know what they're going to do, but they need to do something against this precedent. I'm not saying, what I mean is something, they need to do some actions to get him to resign immediately, because this is not acceptable. He is pissing on the club right now. And if that's not waking up Sayın Dursun Özbek, Savun Kavutçu, the Aslan, if they are not waking up from this, then they should resign, I think. They are going to show their true colors right now. So we just have to wait and see. I understand that they don't tweet, 4 hours before a Champions League game and so on. I know, because when he came out with these statements, Galatasaray posted concentration. And that, I agree with that. It's no point to have a war and saying something against him in the preparation of a very, very important Champions League game. But yeah, he said so much, this man. And he also mentioned the trio program, where, because in the trio program, I don't listen so much about to those three referees. It is like three old referees who is analyzing situations where it was free kick there, yellow cards, red cards, penalties, and so on. Because I think they were very, very weak referees when they were referees, from what I remember. So I'm not, I don't like to listen to them either. But two of them said that, for example, on Kazımcan's situation, that it was not a penalty. So for many, it is a gray position. But what this guy is saying, this TFF president, Haciosmanoglu, is saying, is that I can't accept when VAR is doing mistakes, blah, blah, blah. He's also, saying that he's also talking about that program, trio program, because it is on Bein Sport, where the matches are broadcasting. And he's saying something in the lines where, like, they need to do their job better. He's saying, it is, I talked to the broadcasting, I talked to the Bein Sports and the team, that this is not good enough because these referees are saying one thing in this position and another thing, another position. It's just so crazy. Who does he thinks he is to get involved in these things as well? For me, that's almost scary, if he tries to manipulate the media as well, and he's saying it on a press conference, that is basically tries to manipulate the media. So for me, he's a fraud, this guy. And he also said, when people talks to us they are like lambs in front of us, but when they see the cameras and turn into the cameras and turn into lion cubs, of course we have a response to give to these. So this man is just I really dislike this guy. So Ultra Aslan and the board needs to do something immediately. Again, I get that they can't do it right, because the timing of everything is just so horrendous to come out with these statements hours before a very important Champions League game. And we also have to mention, I also want to mention everybody, Fenerbahce, Beşiktaş, Trabzonspor, Samsunspor and some other clubs came out with a statement when Kazımcan, the handball situation, when it was not received a penalty, that they came out with statements. But we know that, for example, Fenerbahce against Galatasaray, no one came out with a statement. I think that was 100 times worse, where, of course, Haciosmanoglu said that the referee did not impact the result. He 100% impacted the result, because if it had been a normal referee with no bad intentions, Galatasaray would have won that game 3-1, 4-0 or something, 3-0, 2-0. I don't know. But Göztepe versus Trabzonspor, it's a penalty there to Göztepe in my eyes. In the last minutes, no one opens their mouth. Beşiktaş versus Gaziantep. Yesterday, Orkun Kökçü is clearly cursing on the referee time after time. He doesn't get a red card. The penalty situation on the corner where Ersin is hitting the defender and he's breaking something in his face, no penalty. And yes, Beşiktaş are saying, yeah, we should have got a penalty, but that's a clearly penalty. That's 100% of a penalty. When your goalkeeper is literally punching a player in his face. I was shocked when that was not a penalty. But are some clubs screaming then? No, of course not. That's why our club need to wake up immediately. Because, and it's pretty clear, when you have won the league 3 times in a row, no one wants you to win the league the 4th time. No one. Then the team's concentration needs to be so high that you can't accept the performance like Samsunspor in the second half, Monaco in the second half, Kocaelispor and so on, Beşiktaş at home. The first 30 minutes there was horrible. You are going to wake up when you're 1 man less against Trabzonspor at home. To give away so easy points is, for me, it's just not acceptable when you are in the situation you are, where everybody is trying to kill you. And it is the situation. Another thing, people are praising Haciosmanoglu because, the betting scandal. Eren Elmalı played for 4 years ago and 10 months or something, an easy coupon. Probably just played for fun. I think it was something like that. And he's getting punished for 45 days. We are missing a player like him right now. But the crazy thing is that Mert Hakan Yandaş, who is now charged of some very serious things, also Metehan Baltacı, our player, but Mert Hakan Yandaş played on that Ismail Yüksek is getting yellow card, played on that he will make 3 or more free kicks with another. He let another man play for him. He played on sites that are not allowed to play on. I think it was with, please correct me if I'm wrong, he's charged with it, so nothing is like 100% clear yet. But with İrfan Can Kahveci, with Çağlar Soyuncu, and Cenk Tosun, I think. I'm not sure if they are charged. I don't want to, before they are getting. It is also a bit dumb to say something if it's not 100% clear. But let's say if Mert Hakan Yandaş he was in the squad against us, he was on the bench against us. Let's say if he had scored against us, the 2-1 goal or something, while our player Eren Elmalı is suspended for something so little compared to Mert Hakan Yandaş. And you are Haciosmanoglu is saying, you remember the Necip Uysal and Ersin, they came out with they said in the interview that we were going to sue the people who told that we were in the betting scandal and so on. He's just throwing out names, this Haciosmanoglu. But when it is Mert Hakan Yandaş, I know it's probably a bit more difficult, because it is difficult when you're playing under another name or another man. But you should probably have everything clear before you are doing something drastically. And the case with Metehan Baltacı, I think from what I have read at least, and what they are charged for, I think what Mert Hakan Yandaş did was, and this is not about clubs, it's not like Fenerbahçe did, no, it's about the players or the people. You should be able to disconnect them from the teams, I think. But where Metehan Baltacı, he played on games where Galatasaray would win, where both teams would score, when he was not in the squad of 18 players. But he also played, I think, something like that in the Eyüpspor as well, that both teams scores when he was in the squad. So I know people will get angry at me, but when I'm saying this, it is, I'm a bit sad for, I know that he was stupid and everything, but it's a bit sad to see Metehan Baltacı like that anyway for me. He has done his mistakes, and he needs to pay for them. He probably will get his contract terminated. But I remember how the Fenerli were when this happened, when Metehan Baltacı and Eren Elmalı got suspended. That Fenerbahçe were clean, and then their captain are getting charged as well with some of the players. They are not charged, I think, but pictures with them, you can search it up. So yeah. Okan Hoca also said, these kinds of misfortunes exist in football. All of them happen to us at the same time. It's not just the injuries of our defenders who were suspended in recent weeks. We had to play with the same players all the time. When you look at the bench today, we didn't have a defender. He also said, you need to have a budget for transfers. It's not only the TFF, there's also UEFA. As you know, we transferred Osimhen. We brought in very important players like Sané, Ucan, Singo, İlkay. But you can't foresee this kind of scenario. Whatever happened, everything came one after another because of injuries. If there is someone responsible, of course it is me. He continued saying, if there's someone responsible for this? Of course it is me. During the transfer period, in the winter transfer window, we will plan in the best possible way. If we continue in the Champions League, we will do it even more properly. Why didn't you do it even more properly in the summer? And he is, saying that they had some big transfers like Ujan Çakır, Singo, Sané, Osimhen, okay? We had chances and there were ones we couldn't finish. I read this. Yeah. And it's finishing now. There's also the AFCON. 4 of our players will go there. It's a difficult period for us. Yeah, it is a extremely difficult period for us. So I don't want to talk too much about this planning. Okanoja is saying that we had some very serious transfers, and that's correct. And I get the point with buying these very good players at once. But it is as easy as this. If a player like, I'm repeating myself time after time, but I need to say this. If a player like Berkan Kutlu, Yusuf Demir and Ahmet Kutucu, who was on the bench today, cannot even play in these conditions where İlkay Gündoğan barely can move, Yunus Akgün still playing injured, Barış Alper totally finished, Leroy Sané so tired, Jakobs probably playing 20% and so on. If you can't even get a minute in this situation, why were they even in the planning before the season? I think that was it, guys. A devastating night, of course. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please hit the like button, subscribe button, comment down below what you guys think, and take care, guys.